Hey guys, I'm Annie. In this video, I'm going to be taking you through a short vinyasa flow. We're going to be focusing on opening up the shoulders, so it's a really great one if you've been sitting at a desk all day. We're going to get our bodies moving, help calm the mind, and leave us feeling really great. Let's come to lie down on our backs to begin. You can draw the soles of the feet together, let the knees drop out to the sides. If you've got any problems with the hips or the knees, then either lengthen the heels away from the groin or just extend the legs out onto the mat. And then draw the hands over the head, taking hold of opposite elbows, flattening the arms to the mat. And come to breathe in and out through the nose. Just breathing gently here, no need to change the pattern of breath too much. Just give yourself a few breaths to arrive in the space, to bring yourself into the presence, into your practice. Maybe feeling the back of the body as it sinks into the mat a little more with each exhale. Feeling the breath, feeling the lungs, the sides of the body expand. Quietening the mind. Drawing the knees to the chest, bring the forehead to the knees, and then let the shoulders drop back to the ground, maybe rock from side to side. And then start to rock and roll up and down the length of the spine, from the tailbone to the neck, giving yourself a bit of a massage here, and then rolling all the way over, coming to the front of the body, finding yourself in a tabletop position. And then reach the arms a little bit further out in front of you. The hips are stacked above the knees. And use the breath to melt the chest and the chin down towards the mat. Starting to open up through the chest and shoulders. Keep the seat lifted. Lengthening the upper body away. Melting a little bit more with each breath. And with your next inhale, walk the hands underneath the shoulders. Tuck the toes, lift the hips high, and come into your first downward facing dog. Maybe bending through one knee, then the other. Just make it really loose and comfortable as you begin lengthening through the back of the body, perhaps bending and straightening both knees. Working your way into your practice slowly, there's no rush to get anywhere too quickly. And then with your next breath, inhale to reach the right leg high behind you. Draw it all the way forwards and place it between the palms, releasing the back knee down, untucking the toes. Bring the hands to the right thigh, lift up through both sides of the waist, and then inhale to reach the arms over the head, interlacing the fingers, release the first finger. Tuck the tailbone under, support the lower back. Draw yourself up so you're not collapsing through the lower back. And then interlace the fingers behind you and use the interlace to open up through the front of the body. Create space along the collarbone. And then bringing the hands back over the head, reaching up. And as you exhale, frame the foot. Step to the top of the mat with the left foot and inhale to lift halfway. As you exhale, melt over the toes and take a softness in the knees as you rock gently from side to side. Taking hold of opposite elbows, coming into a ragdoll, just letting go of any tension from the head and the neck. Keep the knees nice and soft, keep lengthening through the hamstrings. And then release the elbows, frame the feet and step the right foot and then the left foot back, coming into a high plank and releasing the knees, the chest to the floor. As you inhale, come into baby cobra, lifting the chest away. Then tuck the toes, send the hips high, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg rises behind you, drawing it forwards, place it between the palms, release the back knee down and untuck the toes. Bring the hands to the thigh, pushing into the front knee. And then drawing the hands over the head, interlacing the fingers, bringing the arms all the way back to the ears and dropping the shoulders down the back. Working the chest forward, lengthening through the waist, and then interlacing the fingers behind the back to open up the chest even more. You can even drop the head back if it feels comfortable on the spine, being careful not to dump into the lower back. And then inhale to reach the arms over the head. Exhale, frame the front foot, tuck the back toes and step to the top of the mat. Lengthen forward halfway as you exhale, folding down. Taking hold of opposite elbows behind the knees, coming into a forward fold, keeping the knees soft, and then interlace the fingers behind the back, send the fist over the head, over the shoulders, opening up the upper body and straightening the legs a little bit more. The knees can stay soft as you begin to work into the upper body, and then soften the knees, bending all the way down to the ground, press the palms to the mat and step the feet back. Lower the knees and the chest. Inhale, lengthen the front of the body, shoulders drop, cobra. And then tucking the toes, hips come high, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath through the nose. Open the mouth, big sigh. And then inhale, come onto the tiptoes and gently start to walk the feet all the way forward. Softening the knees, coming into a tuck at the top of the mat, taking hold of opposite elbows, letting the head drop down to the knees, pausing here for just a breath or two and a little ball. And then releasing the hands to the ground, sending the hips high and turning the feet parallel. Soften through the knees as you slowly start to roll up the spine, stacking bone by bone. Relaxing the shoulders down the back, bringing the toes to touch, lifting through the thighs, drawing the kneecaps up. As you inhale, reach both hands over the head. As you exhale, diving over the toes, Uttanasana, forward fold, lift halfway, and then place the palms, step back to your high plank. From here, holding for a few breaths, pushing through the upper body, drawing yourself out of the wrists, the energies moving through the heels, and then lowering yourself, knees and chest, or high to low plank. Inhale, upward dog, and as you exhale, rolling over the toes, downward facing dog. Taking a few breaths here, think about pushing through the knuckles of the hands, sending the energy through the heels, and then as you inhale, reach the right leg high. Draw it forwards, place it between the palms, turn the back foot in 45 degrees and reach the arms over the head, warrior one. Make a nice strong base with the legs, wrapping the inner thighs together. The hips and shoulders are square to the top of the mat. And then you can heel toe the right foot slightly outwards, interlacing the fingers behind the back. As you inhale, lift the chest high. And as you exhale, melt the right shoulder to the inside of the right knee. The knee stays stacked above the ankle of the right side. And then sending the fist over the head a little bit more, opening up through the shoulders. As you inhale, reach the arms back over the head, warrior one. And as you exhale, release the hands to the floor, step back to your high plank, lowering through your vinyasa. Inhale, lengthen the chest, drop the shoulders, lift the knees away, and as you exhale, roll over the toes, downward facing dog. Inhale, left side, lifting the leg high, placing it between the palms and grounding the back foot at 45 degrees. Reach the arms high, soften the shoulders, warrior one, squaring off the hips. Keeping the knee above the ankle, and then maybe heel toeing the foot away to create a little bit of space as you interlace the fingers behind the back. Open the chest with the inhale, and as you exhale, melt the left shoulder to the inside of the left knee. Sending the arms over the head, reaching them over and out in front of you to open up through the upper body, relaxing the tension from the head and neck. And then inhale to reach the arms high. Release them down with the exhale, step back to your high plank and wrap the elbows to the waist as you lower down. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And then inhale, come forward to your high plank. Coming onto the tops of the toes, and as you exhale, scoop back, downward facing dog. Start to engage the core, release the knees down, keep the hips lifted and walk the hands forward, melting the heart down to the ground just like we did before. See if you can find a little bit more of an opening as your body warms a little more with each breath. Breathing into the posture, one more breath. And then releasing the forearms to the ground, tuck the toes to lift the hips high. Start to tiptoe the feet a little bit closer to the elbows, sending the hips over the shoulders as much as you can. Begin to rock the weight forwards and back from the toes to the forearms, back to the toes. Use your breath. Inhale, take one more, and as you exhale, push into the palms, lift the arms, downward dog. Inhale, reach the right leg high, draw it forwards, place it between the palms, ground the back foot down and spiral the arms open. Warrior two, opening the hips and the chest to the long edge of the mat, gazing over the front middle finger, the two arms are in one line. The knee is stacked above the right ankle. As you inhale, reverse the warrior, lengthening through both sides of the waist, reaching the arm back and maybe taking the left hand to the crease of the right thigh. Taking another breath here, lengthen through both sides of the body, and then reaching the right arm back round to come to your warrior two. Straighten the front leg and extend the arms in opposite directions, coming into trikonasana, your triangle pose. Bring your attention to the legs, start to draw the inner thighs round, wrapping them together, creating a strong foundation. And then softening through the front knee, inhale to reverse your warrior back. And then cartwheel the hands either side of the foot, step back to your high plank and lower through your vinyasa. And if at any point the vinyasa feels too strong, you can always skip straight back to downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the left leg high. Draw it forwards, place it between the palms, grounding the back foot down and spiral the arms open, warrior two. The knees tracking in line with the second toe. The arms are in one line as you open up the body to the long edge of the mat. And then inhale, flip the palm, reverse the warrior back, extending the left arm behind you and reaching the right arm round to the crease of the left thigh. Keep a generous bend in the left knee. And then drawing the arms back to warrior two, straightening through the front leg, reaching the left fingertips forward and extending the arms in opposite directions. Coming into your trikonasana, lengthening the two sides of the body, opening the shoulders up and then softening through the front knee. Reverse the warrior as you inhale and then cartwheel the hands to frame the foot, stepping back through your vinyasa. Inhale, lift the heart up dog, lifting the knees from the mat. And as you exhale, roll over the toes, downward facing dog. Soften the knees to the floor. Find yourself in a child's pose, taking a few breaths. Finding each inhale and exhale, allowing yourself to come back to a rhythmic breathing pattern. Expanding through the back of the ribs with each inhale. And then maybe bringing the hands to rest back by the feet, letting the shoulders drop towards the mat. Feeling the forehead pressing against the floor. Sinking the stomach against the thighs with the exhale. And then bringing the arms back out in front of you. Pressing the palms into the mat. Tuck the toes, lift the hips high, downward facing dog. Taking a couple of breaths here, maybe a big sigh. And then look to the thumbs, step or jump the feet lightly to the top of the mat. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Exhale, fold over the toes. And then heel toe the feet hip width apart. Press the palms into the mat and spread the fingertips wide. Bend the knees and place them on the backs of the arms as high up towards the armpits as you can. Then start rocking the weight forward from the toes to the hands. So as you inhale, you come forwards, maybe lifting one or both of the feet away from the floor, perhaps coming into your crow pose. And then stepping or jumping the feet all the way to the back of the mat and moving through your vinyasa, coming to meet in downward facing dog. Inhale, journey forward to your high plank, squeezing through the core, lowering yourself down for 3, 2, 1, lengthening the body down onto the mat, sending the hands back to the hips, turning the right ear to the floor, taking a breath here, catching your breath, feeling the air flow in and out the whole of the body. And then turn the head straight. Place the hands underneath the shoulders, bring the toes to touch. As you inhale, push into the palms gently as you engage your lower back muscles, coming into a low cobra pose. Drawing yourself up, using those muscles in the back. The hands are just there for support. And as you exhale, release the opposite ear down. Relax the shoulders down to the floor, send the hands back to the hips. Turning the head straight, interlace the fingers behind the back and use that interlace to draw the upper body away from the floor. Send the fist away from the bottom as you reach it far behind you, opening up through the chest. Lift up a little bit higher for one more breath. Maybe even lifting the legs as well to deepen the back bend. And as you exhale, gently release everything down. Turn the ear to the mat. Maybe dropping the hips from side to side to release the spine. Bend the knees, take hold of the feet from around the outside edges, kicking into the hands, draw your upper body away from the floor, lift the thighs up, perhaps rocking backwards and forwards to deepen into the posture, drawing everything away from the floor, kick into your hands a little bit more, drawing up, deepening the back bend, and as you exhale, release everything down with control. Rock the hips from side to side. Catch the breath. Bringing the arms in line with the shoulders, and then press the right hand underneath the right shoulder to roll yourself onto the left side of the body. We're finding a stretch through the left shoulder, perhaps stepping the right leg over the left, and using the right hand to press into the mat in order to deepen the stretch with each breath without pushing too far. Bringing yourself back through center, extending the opposite arm out, pushing into the left hand and taking it over to the other side. Only pushing as far as feels like a good stretch. Don't push into any pain. Deepening a little more with the breath as you exhale. Bringing yourself back onto the front of the body, pressing both hands underneath the shoulders and gently making your way back into a child's pose, spreading the knees wide. Sinking down onto the ground, coming to find a sense of stillness by tuning in with the breath. Expanding through the back of the body with each inhale. And then pressing into the palms, tuck the toes, lift the hips high, downward facing dog. Taking a couple of breaths here just to walk through the knees, maybe twist under opposite armpits, do whatever feels good for your body. Moving instinctively, just doing whatever feels right in your own body at this moment in time. Coming back to your downward dog, looking to the palms and stepping or jumping yourself all the way through, coming to sit down on the mat. Pressing the soles of the feet onto the floor, bending the knees, the fingertips face forward either side of the hips. As you inhale, draw your upper body towards the ceiling, coming into a reverse tabletop. Trying to release the tension from the glutes and the hamstrings, lift with the front of the body. You can drop the head back if it feels good, lifting a little bit higher to open through the front of the chest. Extending the legs out in front of you, flexing the feet and removing any flesh from underneath the seat. And then bending the right knee out to the side, bring the heel to the outside of the hip. We're going to be folding over the left leg, keeping a nice long spine. If you have problems with the knees, you can bend the right knee, drop it out to the side and bring the sole of the foot to the inside of the left leg instead. Keep folding the body forwards. Think about scooping up through the lower belly, drawing yourself a little bit closer down, and then inhale to bring yourself up, swapping over to the opposite leg. Keeping the hips square as you fold yourself forwards, softening the shoulders down your back. Remembering to breathe in and out through the nose as you fold yourself a little bit deeper down with each exhale. Last breath. And then inhale to come back up, bringing the soles of the feet to touch. Let the knees drop out to the sides. And you can keep a gap between the heels and the groin. And then start to round through the spine, dropping your head down, extending the arms out onto the mat in front of you. Letting the head hang heavy, there's no need to pull on the ankles or the feet. Just allowing the spine to round, flopping yourself down. Breathing into the back of the body. And then inhaling to come all the way back up. Placing the soles of the feet onto the floor, lying down on your back. Bring the heels so you can almost touch them with your fingertips. And then pressing the hands into the ground, you're going to begin to lift the hips away from the floor. And as you push into your hands and feet, lift the back away from the ground, interlacing the hands behind the back, rolling onto the outside edges of the arms. Breathing into the space across the collarbones, lifting from the hips, sending the chest up, releasing the tension from the buttocks and the hamstrings. And then slowly lowering down, bringing the knees to touch and letting them drop from side to neutralize the spine. And then we're going to take another round. You can either do the same again or move the hands up to the shoulders for full wheel. Whatever you decide. With your next inhale, start to draw the hips and the back away from the ground, pressing into the hands and the feet. Keep working the chest backwards. Start to really open up the space in the front and the back of the shoulders, sending the knees and the chest in opposite directions to lengthen the front of your body. And then slowly coming to release yourself all the way down. Letting the knees touch and dropping them from side to side. And then drawing the knees towards the chest, giving yourself a big squeeze, maybe even bringing the forehead up to touch the knees. Rocking from side to side, massage out the lower back. And then releasing the head down, come to extend the legs out on the floor, hip or mat width wide. Bringing the arms to rest away from the sides of the body with the palms facing up. Close the eyes, take a deep inhale in through the nose. Open the mouth, big sigh to release. Coming into total stillness for your final Shavasana. You can stay here for as long as you like. And then when you're ready, slowly start to bring the awareness back to the body, wriggling the fingers and the toes. Taking a big stretch, reaching the arms over the head, pointing the toes, making yourself as long as you can. And then drawing the knees into the chest for one last squeeze. And then making your way onto the right side of your body. Pausing here for just one breath. And then pushing yourself up gently to come and sit on your mat. Lengthening the back, crossing the legs. Nice long spine. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Open the mouth, big sigh to release. And bring the hands to the heart center. Taking a moment of gratitude. Raising the thumbs to the third eye between the eyebrows. Namaste. I hope you guys enjoyed your yoga practice. If you liked the video and you want to see more from me, you can subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you soon.